Hey, homeschool moms, Abby here from Homeschool with Moxie. I wanted to give you a really important tip. I think you should ditch the homeschool planning. I think if you're spending all weekend erasing and crossing out lesson plans in this massive teacher planning book, I think you're making yourself work way harder than you need to work as a homeschool mom. I think if you simplified the homeschool planning, you would be able to enjoy a more peaceful homeschool existence. So here's what I mean. Of course, you need some kind of plan, but I advocate for a really great overview and flexible yearly plan that you work on in the spring and summer and implement for the whole school year. I never spend all weekend crossing stuff off, figuring out what math lesson we're going to be on Thursday. Like, it doesn't matter. If you pick curriculum that is just do the next lesson, do the next thing, do the next day, you don't need to know what math lesson you're going to be on day 108 of school. Who really cares? If you're not required to do that for the law for where you live, then why are you making yourself do all this extra work? When I was a classroom teacher in public school, yeah, I had to have the big teacher planning book. I had to plan it out. I had to show which standards I was covering in each day's lesson. I had to do all that because I was in a public school. You don't have to do that most likely as a homeschool mom. So don't do it. Make your life a lot easier. So what I advocate for is planning once in the summer for the whole year, map out what curriculum, what resources, what are your kids going to work on, and then if you adjust as needed, if you pick homeschool friendly material that's really open and go, you don't have to make a new plan every week. But you might say, but how do my kids know what to do in math every day? Or how do they know what to do in science the next day? Well, if you have really little kids, a workbox works awesome for this because it's visual. You've got all the physical components in each drawer of your workbox. And I will link below this video with a link to what a workbox is, how to set one up, and all of that if you're not familiar. But all it does take is like a weekly reset, maybe 5 minutes on a Friday to reset your whole workbox system for the next week. So workboxes work really well for the younger kids. How about for your older kids and your teens? We love Trello. Trello is so easy to use. Once I figure out my yearly plan, I put everything in Trello once in the fall and then weekly reset like 5 minutes or less every Friday. My teens can check off what they're working on and I can double check how they're doing every week and see what their progress is. It's also wonderful because instead of having to cross stuff out and adjust a physical paper schedule, they can totally move things around on the Trello board and it's so easy. And you'll love to know that Trello is free, so it won't cost you a dime. I'll also link to all our resources on Trello and using that in your homeschool. Plus, I have a whole playlist here on YouTube about using Trello for homeschooling and scheduling and planning. So I think if you would ditch the homeschool lesson planning and do this simplified approach, it would really give you some more peace and calm and just a feeling of not being so overwhelmed and, time crunched for all of that planning every weekend. So what do you think? Let me know in the comments if you do this type of scheduling or if you're going to give it a try.